Hi, I'm Rachel from PromisinglyPennywise.com, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a red, white, and blue heart garland with hearts like these. Now for this craft you're going to need either some old magazines, and I have a stack here to go through, or you can use pieces of red, white, and blue cardstock, or anything that is mostly red, like this piece of cardstock, mostly blue. And then I have just some plain white cardstock. So if you're using a magazine, you want to look for a page that's mostly red, or mostly white, or mostly blue. So this would be a good example of one you could use for a white page. It has a lot of text, but it's mostly white. So I'm going to go ahead and tear that page out. And as you find your red page or your blue page, you'll do the same. The number of pages that you need depends on how many hearts you want to make, but one page should be plenty to start with. Now to save some time, I already found some red pages in some other magazines, so here's some examples of mostly red pages. So you see they have some other colors in, and that's fine. Alright, so once you have at least one red, one white, and one blue page, you're ready to start. Now I like to mix the colors. I like to do a red, white in the middle, and blue heart, but you could do an all blue heart and then an all red heart and an all white heart. It's up to you. So I'll start with blue. And you'll need for this craft a ruler and something to write with. I'm using a pen. You'll also need a set of scissors, a stapler, and if you have them, a hole punch, but you can just use your scissors if you don't have a hole punch. Okay, so I'm going to take my ruler and line it up with the edge of the paper. If you're using cardstock, you do the exact same thing with your blue piece of cardstock. And I'm going to draw and trace the width of the ruler so that I have a strip about the size of the ruler. If you don't have a ruler, you can use anything that's about that size. But I'm going to go ahead and cut a strip out for us to use. So you cut down the line that you drew. It's okay if it's not perfect, if the pen slips while you're tracing it, or you don't cut perfectly straight. Once it's in the garland, no one's going to be able to tell. I've already pre-cut some strips to save time. So here's my red, here's my white. Now I like to do red, white in the middle, and then blue. So you're going to start by taking your red, have it facing outward. Put your white piece in the middle. It doesn't really matter what way it faces, even if there's color on one side. Either way, that side's going to be showing. And then take your blue. Now you want your blue to face the opposite way of the red. So I have red facing out this way. On this side, I want blue facing out. So when I turn it back and forth, red and blue. And then line your pieces up so that they're right over the top of each other. Okay, now you're going to reach into the middle where the white piece is, and you need to pull that white piece up so that's a couple of inches above the other pieces. And then make sure the top of the red and blue piece is lined back up. Now we need to put a staple right where the top of those red and blue pieces are. Next, you're going to take your blue and your red piece and fold them both up towards the staple. And we're going to crease it right underneath that staple. So I'll start with my blue piece. I'm folding it up. And I'm going to do the same with my red piece. Once the crease is there, you can let them drop and hold that white piece at the top. Now we're going to make it into a heart shape. So now that we have those two pieces folded out, I'm going to hold the middle and slide the blue piece up a little bit and then pinch the white and blue piece together. And I'm going to pull it back at the top. Okay, now I'm going to slide the red piece up and pinch all three pieces together at the bottom. Now it's not quite even, so I'm going to keep pulling until it looks pretty even to me. But it doesn't quite look like a heart yet, so I'm going to go through the center, and where that crease was at the top by the staple, I'm just going to pull up and pinch. Alright, now it's looking a lot more like a heart. You can adjust the size of the heart by sliding up or down depending on how big you want your heart. Once it's the size that you'd like it to be, you're going to be stapling the bottom. Now, It's hard to slide this into my stapler right now. It's a little bit too long, so I'm going to cut off some of that excess. It's okay if it's not perfect right now. We'll cut off more in a moment. And I'm going to staple it right where I was holding it. All right, and now we can cut off that excess hanging down below. So there we have our first heart. Now the next step is to put a hole in it. You can use your scissors if you don't have a hole punch. If you have a hole punch, that's the easiest way to go. Now, magazine is pretty flimsy, so if this is going to be hanging anywhere where anyone might be pulling on it or knocking into it, I would probably put a piece of clear tape up here and then hole punch after I cover it with tape to reinforce it. All right, and that's it. That's how you make your hearts. You just keep going using more strips of red, white, and blue. And then once you have several garlands, or several hearts, you're ready to start hanging them up on your string. Now I like to use twine, mostly because I already have it. If I didn't already have it, I would use whatever I had. Yarn, even thread would work fine. However many hearts you have depends on how long it's going to be. And of course you just thread through. And then you can space them out to where you want them. And that's it. Make sure you check out my website, www.promisinglypennywise.com, to see the final result. You can find the link below.